From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's voice briefing. It's Monday, March 4th, 2024.
For the Detroit Free Press Autos team, I'm Jamie LaRoe. General Motors has a fire problem at its electric vehicle plant Factory Zero that Detroit city officials and the UAW want fixed. The lithium-ion batteries it handles at the factory, which is located in Detroit and Hamtramck, have sparked several fires since last summer. Detroit wants GM to invest in safety measures and devise a better safety plan for when there is a fire than what is in place now, which is basically an evacuation plan, said Detroit Fire Chief Dennis Hunter. Hunter said the city has met with GM leaders several times in recent months to suggest ways GM can lower the risk of fires when it's handling lithium-ion battery cells. Those cells are used in the battery packs that go into EVs. The biggest fire at the plant was a 3-alarm fire on December 19th that brought 22 trucks and 88 firefighters. GM evacuated the plant of its employees and halted production of the Hummer EV and Silverado EV work trucks built there. GM blamed the fire on a forklift puncturing a container of lithium-ion battery materials. The Detroit Free Press obtained an incident report through a state Freedom of Information Act filing that described it as a, quote, tremendous blaze that took copious amounts of water and foam to extinguish. Firefighters were exposed to dangerous toxins, the report said. That fire and another one in October cost GM a total of more than $1 million in damages, and it ties up city services each time it happens, Hunter said. GM said it is working with the city and is considering additional safety investments at the facility. You can read more on this story at freep.com.
I'm Frank Witzel with the Detroit Free Press. A little more than a year after Sheetz announced it is expanding to Michigan, the Pennsylvania-based convenience store and gas station chain president and CEO Travis Sheetz visited its first Metro Detroit location in Romulus. It's not slated to open until September, but Sheetz, who wants to build 50 to 60 more in Metro Detroit, made the case Thursday to the Free Press and other media outlets why communities should embrace it and why Michigan is vital to the company's future. It's a big bet, Sheetz said while visiting the Free Press offices. We're committed to a bunch of stores. Our plan is not to build 3 stores, watch and wait. Strategically, we think we need to have a presence quickly. In many ways, Sheetz and Michigan should be a natural fit. Michiganders, like Pennsylvanians, are authentic, hardworking, and love their cars. Sheetz, an $11 billion company, employs more than 25,000 at 722 stores in a half dozen states. The stores bring jobs, about 30 per location, with pay starting at just under $15 an hour, with benefits including medical and dental insurance, a retirement plan, and stock ownership. And they enhance a community's tax base. But that, along with the company's clever marketing line, why the Sheetz not, hasn't been enough, at least not in 4 suburban Detroit communities where residents have objected to the 24/7 traffic, noise, and pollution.
I'm Andrew Burkle with the Free Press Sports Department. This afternoon's Tigers game against the Boston Red Sox is just an exhibition that's part of spring training. And while the final result may not technically matter, this game is a very important occasion. That's because announcers need spring training too, especially brand new announcers, which is exactly what the Tigers have this year. Big-time broadcaster Jason Benetti will be the new voice of the Tigers this season, and his first broadcast as a member of the Tigers and Bally Sports Detroit will be this afternoon at 1:05 p.m. If you're a big-time sports fan, you've almost surely heard Benetti at some point or another calling a football, basketball, or even a baseball game. He spent the last few years being the play-by-play voice of the Chicago White Sox during the summer, and when the Tigers decided to part ways with Matt Shepard after last season, they were able to convince Benetti to come across Lake Michigan and to join a division rival. Benetti's primary partner will be Craig Monroe, who used to be an outfielder for the Tigers and has spent the last few years working for Bally Sports Detroit. The crew will get their start today down at Joker Marchant Stadium in Lakeland, Florida, as the Tigers and their broadcast team ramp up for the big season. Now, we've written a lot about Benetti and his inspiring story on our website, so be sure to check that out at freep.com/sports.
Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening, and you'll hear more from us tomorrow.